Yes, my G, slaply derp. Hope you guys are doing great. Today I want to cover a Reese bass that I made in Serum, and I actually made this a little while ago, but I'm pretty sure I've never done a tutorial on this patch. Anyway, forgive me if I have. It's on an older preset pack, but it's just one of my favourites. It's called the Rizzler Reese. Um, and yeah, let's just go over this anyway because it sounds so sick in this drop, right? And this kind of beat here. Let's have a little listen to this loop first. So let's have a look at this one, right? I've got some macros that are already being activated on the speed particularly, and a little bit on the tone as well. And the speed is modulating the LFO speed, obviously. There's just one LFO. Everything's tracked to this sort of curved triangle. And yeah, I've just put the speed over here on the global settings of the LFO scaling. So yeah, just kind of it's just I've automated, the actual patch here to have this sort of speed changes here. Get this little part that comes up at the end. And then all this part over here as well is a different kind of whole different rhythm on it, right? So anyway, let's have a look at the patch then, and I'll turn off the effects. We've got quite a lot of effects to get through as well today, but they're all very important. Getting that high sound quality, And so yeah, we have 3 oscillators, noise section, 2 filters, a bunch of FM. So let's get started, right? So the first oscillator is the Monster S1, and the wavetable position stays at 0 or at 1. And this one has just got some bend on it. So bend negative goes up from 0 to 60% on this LFO. And this LFO, the rate is just 2 bars, and it's just this kind of curved triangle, as I mentioned, with a bit of smoothing on it, right? So that's the first part. Yeah, -2 here on the octaves and a little fine tuning, +25. Then oscillator B. This one is, they're all like native ones in Serum. I don't remember which folder this one's on. Is it on the spectral or vowel or analog? Somewhere. You'll find it in there somewhere. I'm sure you will, my G's. Maybe is it down here? It's interesting that I can't seem to find it now. Let's have a look. I'm quite curious now where it is. Oh, there it is. It's on the S2 digital whirly, like a Wurlitzer, right? So this one, it's fairly close to a sine wave, to be fair. All right, and we have some PD on this one from A. So if I take that off, not quite as interesting, is it? So PD from A on this guy at 44%, and we have a high pass filter on as well, which goes from 0 up to 66. Again, the octaves at -2 and the fine tuning this time at -32, and also yeah, the unison on both of these oscillators is at 1, so it's none of these have been stereoed yet, but the third one will be. So let's add the third one in then. So this is oscillator C, and this is the granular generator. So I've gone down to the granular, and then I've set up a manual mode here, and then let's go back to that again, manual mode. This is where all that lovely natural texture comes on top of the sound, These first 2 were really great at creating that sort of power, that synth power in the low end especially. And this third one is really the one that added all that, all that character on it, And this is, again, it's a factory sound. It's under the bass, and it's the Reese bass on the granular mode here. And for the granular mode, basically, we've got some movement on the density. Okay, the position is at 0. The density goes on my LFO, and it goes up 24%. The length here is 625 and the unison is at 3. And this granular sound, the octave's actually 4 octaves higher than the other two. Just sounds better in this range at +2. And unison here on 3 as well. Again, we've got some FM routing, and we've got... This really creates that great sound, is we've got the PD from B on here. That really gave me that sort of sonic character, like the main ear candy from the sound, that kind of modulation there, right? So it's at 63%, and it modulates down to 27 on the LFO, so it goes from right to left. That's the PD from B there, right? Then we've got a high pass filter, and this one is also a little bit of modulation from right to left. Starts at 46%, goes down to 34%. And that's all the crazy routing basically done. I sort of left the filters on as I was playing you these oscillators, right? Because yeah, it's very harsh in the high end otherwise, you know. So the Reese, it has this low pass filter on, which is really important. Okay, so the low pass is set to it sort of starts at 190 and goes up to 2362 on the LFO. A little bit of drive and resonance as well for this little peak here in the middle. And then the output of this filter goes to filter 2, and filter 2 has a little notch filter which modulates from 279 down to 81. A little bit of drive as well, and the resonance up to about 9. The fat is on 24%, and the mix is actually not at 100, it's mixed into 66%. But yeah, makes a nice little character difference as well. It's quite subtle, but lets me use the drive a bit more as well. And yeah, we like it overall. So that's everything on the first page of Serum explained. And oh, I think I used a bit of noise as well, didn't I? Yeah, very important actually, can't really forget that. So the noise is, I've used the fizz, which again, it's a natural one inside one of these folders. There you go, the S2 noises and the fizz. And the level is off, but it's actually just going in here on this oscillator A. So this is the PD noise. And you hear how nice it sounds once it's back on again. Just kind of finishes off the sound in the high end. So really the oscillator A and B, they're kind of doing all of the low end power, synthetic and powerful, you know. And then the C was putting in all of that sort of nice character in the mid-range and the treble. And then the noise is kind of finishing everything else off on top. So we're really filling out the frequency spectrum in a myriad of ways, you know. Very synthetic power in the bottom, going up higher, a bit more granular and natural, and then finishing off with a lovely bit of fizz on top, right? And yeah, the other thing is I've got this sort of tone macro here. It just has two things on it, so it controls the level of the noise, and it controls the PD on this second oscillator here, the phase distortion, and a very small amount, but that's enough to shift the tonality of the patch a bit. So I automate this as well. As you can see, it kind of moves a little bit here. So it just like changes the tonality slightly throughout the little bass line that I made. So that's quite important too. Anyway, that's everything on the first page now. So let's move on to the effects, okay? And yes, so we have a lot on here. Firstly, the bode mode. This one has some LFO movement, goes from 0 up to 43%. I pretty much just left it how it was. The blur is at 100, the shift and range at 0, or right in the middle, you know, and it just, yeah, adds that nice stereo image. Adds a nice stereo on everything. Then similar thing with the flanger here, goes from 0 up to 38. The phase is sort of set to 157 here. The rate 0.07. Okay, it's quite subtle. Don't want it getting too crazy if we go up too high, but it adds a nice pitch movement on everything. Then we've got a delay. This is a ping pong delay, and this is at 16%. Puts these nice little delay tails on the sound, so it finishes really nicely, you know. But yeah, it's just at 16. Just done sort of to the by ear off the grid here. 215 and 205 on the milliseconds left and right. Slight difference between them, so that's good. And then then we have our low-high splitter. So this is where we sort of saturate just the high end. So it's pretty much just under 1K and upwards gets saturated. And there's a bit of movement on the drive and the mix. So the drive sort of backs off a little bit as it gets towards the top, and the mix also backs off. But it really brings the sound to life here, you know. And I've used the diode 2 mode here, but really brings the Reese to life, and all that grittiness that we had from the noise and the granular generator, that all gets enhanced really nicely, you know. And it's important to do that, you know, after my low pass filter as well, because my low pass filter here was controlling all of the chaos that was originally created, you know. And I'm glad I didn't play all of those oscillators with it off, actually, because it would have probably exploded your ears. But yeah, when I'm sort of creating a Reese like this, that low pass is very important. So it's actually sometimes useful to have the low pass filter on while you're sort of designing the other bits as well. You know, you can do it without, but you know, either way is fine. But you need a bit of low passing for this kind of sound, you know. So anyway. Next, we've got the hyper and the dimension. Again, there's some movement on both. So the mix on the dimension goes also kind of starts at 26% and goes down to 5. And the mix on the hyper as well, that sort of starts at 0 and goes up to 24. And the hyper is like a detuning across everything. And the dimension is basically like a little extra reverb or room sound, you know? I've got the convolver on everything, so this is this is really nice. This is at 12% on the mix, and it's the digital gated. Yeah, just a nice natural convolution reverb. Again, 12%, so it's not too much. Then we've got another filter, it's another low pass filter here, and this one goes from 100% down to 43%, and the cutoff also kind of moves from all the way down at 17 up to 6,100, and so quite a large filter range here, but it's mixed in as well, so it's not like it's so extreme. But yeah, it kind of makes that really start with more of a low pass vibe again, and then it kind of opens up later to reveal all of that texture, you know. So it's the kind of filter you could leave off and it still sounds good. It's like more fuller in the high end for the whole duration. But for this kind of Reese, I wanted that like exaggerated low pass feeling. So I was sort of just redoing the low pass again here to sort of recreate that vibe again. And it has some drive on as well. So it's pushing up the whole kind of power of the low end at the same time. So yeah, I really like that. Then I have done a little bit of EQing, and it's just a little boost here around 500 hertz. Just a very subtle kind of mixing and mastering little mid-range boost, and then a touch of reverb to finish. This one again is just very low, 8%, but a bit of a longer reverb this time, a hall reverb. that's just really, really lovely, isn't it? I just wanted to cover that. Even though it's on not my latest preset pack, Motion, it's on the one before, Dissonance, which is also a really, really great one. I was just sort of toying around with this preset on a live stream recently while I made this sort of drum beat, and it just sounded so good in this context, you know. So I just wanted to go over the sound design on that one because I think it's one of my favourite patches that I've made. I think it's one of my favourite Reeses that I've done in Serum too. So I just wanted to sort of cover it again, and yeah, because it's always nice to have a nice fat Reese like in your arsenal, in your toolkit, you know. And this kind of one just has everything. It has like that low end power that's really, really important. That's kind of the main thing why it sounds so good in the mix, you know, the sort of the combination. I got really lucky with the PD here, the PD from A on this oscillator, and then the PD from B on this one. They just like combined together to create this like really awesome texture, you know. And it just has everything. It has that low end power, that like natural granular texture, and the kind of fizz in the high end as well. It's just really, really perfect in my opinion as a Reese sound, you know. Nice modern Neurofunk Reese. So anyway, that's it for today. That's my tutorial for you guys. Little sound design Neurofunk Reese bass with Serum 2. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave a like and a comment down below as well if it helped you out. And yeah, subscribe if you're new to the channel if you want to see more content like this. And check out the links in my video descriptions as well for preset packs for Serum, Faceplant, Current and Vital. And I've got one-on-one production lessons available. Mixing and mastering services are available as well. You can hit me up for that via email. And also come along and join me on Patreon. We've got some free downloads on there and a great Discord community as well with feedback and live streams and much more. All right, that's it from me today. More from me very soon. Much love.